Okay, we're live on YouTube and Facebook.
Wow, the magic of computers. Welcome. My name is Kita, memorabilia expert, and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yes, and I'm Stephanie, is live in the memorabilia expert showroom to showcase some items that we have available for auction that ends tomorrow. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know.
Another auction ends tomorrow.
Fantastic auction. And
Great
again,
auction.
we've been doing a lot of rock and music. So memorabilia expert, just a little bit about us. We've been in Las Vegas since the 90s, and we were actually coming out of LA and in the entertainment industry, and we represent celebrities and bands and artists and their collections. And I've got some of this stuff behind Stephanie and I that we're going to be offering up for auction and for sale. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the hottest things that are right now, and one of the craziest outside of the music and the rock is Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards are jumping in value. There's a sudden increase out there of awareness that they actually do have some high values, especially some of the first edition cards. Charizard, you always hear that's probably the most popular Pokemon card, and it's not something that we usually talk about.
No,
because it's hot right now, though, so we have to talk about it.
Pokemon is the hottest thing right now. Yeah. And I love Charizard and Pikachu.
Pikachu, of course.
Pikachu, who doesn't love Pikachu?
Of course. So we've been getting a lot of customers bringing cards in, and that's what you can do. If you have your vintage early first edition Pokemons, by all means, bring them into the store, Rainbow and Oki, and we'll take a look at them for you if you're here in Vegas.
And if you're not, and you're in another part of the world, or the United States,
we're worldwide.
Yes, we are. We're also on Barnaby's as well. Barnaby's is a great marketplace. We're there. We were actually with Barnaby's before it just exploded. But yeah. So anyway, if you are in any other part of the world, feel free to
email us or email us.
Yeah. Email us, call us. The phone, it's amazing. There's actually people at the end of the phone, which I love when someone answers the phone, Stephanie.
Right, because everyone has questions.
And then every time I call up and you hear the recording, I'm like, representative, representative.
Yes.
Zero representative.
It seems like half the day is representatives that you have to get in touch with.
However, that's not what happens when you call memorabilia expert.
Right. We're here. We're live. Just like now, we're in the showroom. You can there's actually customers that have come in during our show before, which I think happened the last time we did our show.
Yeah.
We had like 3 or 4 customers come in, which was amazing.
But it's live.
Yeah. So it's unpredictable.
But Stephanie, you are so good and knowledgeable with cards, and especially like the newer cards. I mean, okay, so vintage cards we know, okay, T206, the Gaudis, the Tobacco Chewing Gum, Swagger. Okay, so we know
Cracker Jack.
Yeah. So we know about those, and those are probably a little bit easier. But some of the cards that like 80s and 90s were no good.
Right.
And then all of a sudden
there's a boom going on, especially in some of the 90s cards in particular. We just had a nice collection of the Beam Team cards, if you guys are familiar with that set, which has the Shaquille O'Neal Beam Team card, which is skyrocketing in value, as well as Michael Jordan and all kinds of all-stars. It's an amazing set, and as well as I wanted to give kind of a little teaser.
Woo!
Another
teaser.
It's not even in quite yet, but rumor has it. Actually, not a rumor. We do have it.
Okay.
Is a Fleer Metal Skybox card box, unopened box. That's going to be coming up, but that'll be previewed in another video, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have been getting just so many quality consignments. Cards and Pokemon
collections. It's not just like piecemeal. A lot of people are bringing in their entire collection, which is amazing. Yeah. And we just work through it. It's bit by bit, bite by bite. We get through it.
And what's really nice too, I think that what we offer as well with consignments, and I think it's just dealing with us personally and the team here.
Right.
And it's a very great space. We are in Las Vegas, so we do have in-person sales as well. So we deal with the public, and I always say that we're the memorabilia matchmakers.
Right.
So the goal is to take a piece whether it's a card, whether it's a signed baseball, whether it's a gorgeous platinum record, whatever it may be,
Right.
or Tommy Lee's drum kit or
Whatever.
James Haddock drum kit, and place it with the collector.
Right. Exactly. It's so important.
So we want your consignments. What is it that you have? Are you ready to sell? Are you maybe not sure you want to sell yet? Maybe you just want to converse with somebody.
Pick up that phone. Give us a call. We are live and we answer the phone.
Yes, we are.
That's the easiest. That is the easiest way to get in touch with us. I know a lot of people also email as well, but we prefer people to call just because that way we can get a better general sense of what you have versus if you email us kind of a generic question. But it's there to help you as well as that live chat on our website.
Yeah, live chat, right.
On memorabilia.expert. You want to utilize that as well. Maybe you have a quick question. Maybe you want to ask about the upcoming auction like we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about the upcoming auction. I did want to, before we moved into that, I did want to say that right now, the National, Stephanie.
Oh, you're talking about that National?
I'm moving into the Nationals. Yeah, the Nationals actually is back on the book for next year.
For next year, yeah. And they did choose another site coming up in the future, which is that Atlantic City.
What?
Coming up, yeah.
I don't want to go there. I'm going to stay with Chicago.
And Cleveland?
And yeah.
Well, Cleveland, they're going to have it a different venue because the venue, the IX Center now is no longer in Cleveland. Well, it's a different venue in Cleveland, but it'll still be in Cleveland.
And it's good news. There's good news on the horizon. Okay.
That means people are getting back to it.
We're getting back to it. Collectors want to get back to it. People are buying online. You're consigning online. We can do everything online, which is great.
And safe.
Yes. So that's the biggest thing. And no, so kind of speaking of safe, I don't know, it goes like safe in the locks and it's safe. So what's safe? Safe painting is safe, right?
Painting is safe.
Painting is very safe.
Where did this go? I don't even know what direction she's going, and this is what I like about our show. She throws these. Painting is safe. Here we go.
Painting is very safe. And so is art. Well, you can paint.
Oh, I know. Now I know where you're going.
Painting is a safe thing to do when you're, sitting home and not sure what you want to do. You can
drawing, painting, sculpting.
Okay, and collecting. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so there's and some people start young. And we actually represent a gorgeous collection of Stephen Kaufman, and maybe you're familiar with Kaufman.
Yes.
Kaufman did everybody from pop art to Muhammad Ali to great sports, athletes.
Right.
And then he also did a great the comic.
Right.
The comics.
His natural inspiration and mentor was Andy Warhol. So his art reflects that similar popish style.
And so by the time I guess he was 16, Kaufman was in New York going to Studio 54 hanging out with that crowd. So
if he even remembered that he was.
Yeah, I
can't imagine back then.
Do you guys remember Studio 54? If anybody out there remembers Studio 54 and you have a great story of maybe like what you remembered, like if you remembered anything at Studio 54, I would love to chime in and we'll do the story.
Down in the comments, why don't you guys leave your craziest Studio 54 story? Yeah. I want to know. I just out of curiosity.
So Kaufman did, he was at the Manhattan School of Arts, okay? And in 81, that's when he met Andy Warhol. And at 19, Kaufman worked with Andy Warhol.
Right. His mentor, his person. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, if you really want to study art, you go to the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you apprentice with them, you study them, you work with them, and you try to absorb as much information and style and just and quite honestly with Kaufman, I mean, he developed his own style as well. He wasn't just another kind of cookie cutter Warhol person. He had his own style and definitely unique and very, very talented.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think we've got Keith Haring, we have Andy Warhol, you have Kaufman. And I just think that now, Kaufman, what we actually got in, you'll see a lot of mixed media out there, which Kaufman did, and Warhol would do. He would do the giclée and then throw some paint on there to make one-of-ones, okay, which we've had, which are gorgeous. But what we actually have are the original oils. They're original oils on canvas.
Right, painting,
okay, that Kaufman did. And we have the series of all the Superheroes. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go on right now to memorabilia expert.
Very easy. Why don't you just show them how you're doing that? Very simple. You just went to it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and that's one of the Kaufmans that we have. Spider-Man. And we have what else do we have, Stephanie?
We have Captain America. We have the Silver Surfer and Wolverine back there.
Yeah, and if you can say, Steph, just scoot over this way. And if you can you see back there? I'm not going to move the computer, but you see the hanging Marilyn? Okay, that Marilyn will be in a different auction. That's a super special piece. That's signed by Hefner. But that whole wall is Kaufman. And it's got Spider-Man, Captain America, like Stephanie was saying.
Silver Surfer. Gorgeous artwork.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's a nice size, perfect for your man cave. Because not everybody's into sports, Kita. You know, a lot of people, like we were referring to earlier, the Pokemon, not everybody is a sports person. So you collect what you love. Right. And Marvel and DC Comics and all of these characters are icons. Right. And, you know, Kaufman did his well duty there, just painting an amazing collection of iconic characters. And he also had a great relationship with Stan Lee, which naturally is why they are
they signed?
Yeah, there's some that are autographed by Stan Lee, I think.
Stan Lee and Kaufman.
Right, as part of that collection.
So I believe they're starting at about 1900.
Well, reasonable.
Yeah, 1900. Yeah, good. I just think that's great. I think it's wonderful. Wonderful piece.
It's an investment too. I mean, you put that up, and it's something that will go up in value, and it will never go away because of that iconic nature of superheroes.
And they're so vibrant.
Right.
They're so vibrant.
Amazing colors.
Yeah, amazing colors. So here's stuff. I know you like cards. I just pulled that one. I just happened to pull one.
Okay. Well, this is a classic card, and all of you guys can see it. I'll bring it close up here to the camera. Let's see if we got the glare going. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There we go. This is a nice 1968 rookie of Jerry Koosman. Well, also Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan as well. That's the Nolan Ryan rookie, but he also is on there with Jerry Koosman.
Yeah, and it's graded?
It's graded a 6.5 by Beckett. So it's like one of those cards that is super rare and exciting for collectors of vintage baseball cards. So we're always looking for vintage baseball cards as well. I know we talked about the modern cards earlier in the broadcast, but you gotta give it up to the classics. And this one is an iconic classic rookie card of Nolan Ryan from the 1968 Topps set.
What's your favorite card, Steph?
My favorite card right now is the Michael Jordan rookie. Woo! But you know, that's always gonna be my favorite card.
Yeah, and we actually have a nice set. We have a great set, an entire set, right, of the Michael Jordan player rookie. Yeah. And then we have another set that just came in. Okay, so that will be grading as well.
I geek out. I love that iconic set. It's the best thing ever. Oh, here we go. This is a vintage 1967 Roberto Clemente. On there, as you can see, they called him Bob. So this is graded a near mint 8. Nice high grade for a vintage card.
Yeah.
So this is another nice card that we have in our auction ending tomorrow.
So speaking of Roberto Clemente, right? Because Clemente, I think
we're tying it together. I see.
I think that Clemente probably just because of he was such a good guy,
right? And he was a humanitarian, and he died doing a humanitarian act. And I have a contract that was the Puerto Rican, right, from San Juan. Okay, signed in 1970, and it was signed by Roberto Clemente. I'm going to bring this up to you. Yeah, bring it up.
And I just think that contracts are still. Look at that.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, contracts are still so in demand because they really represent and they stamp in print in time what Clemente, right, was actually going to be doing and commissioned to do for that. Look at that gorgeous contract.
Yeah, for that season that they were playing. Right.
Yeah. And this was very close right before he passed.
Right.
Okay, and so that's why this contract I just think it's
a great full name signature. And that's the other important thing about contracts, like you said, is they have to sign their contract. You can't
Yeah.
have a secretary or somebody else dip in there and sign your contract. You have to legally sign your contract. And that is a beautiful signature.
Yes.
Okay, that's a 10. Easy.
This is currently in auction right now.
Mhm.
Okay, and I think it's like at $4,000 right now.
Yeah, still
And I
reasonable.
just think you should hop on, and I think that's such a
That's
great,
very reasonable
that's such
right
a,
now.
a great buy. And so we're gonna, speaking of, okay, so we're kind of doing contracts
Okay.
and you know, type
Ephemera.
letters. Yeah. So Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, there was, you know, the founder, Bill W. and Dr. Bob, and they founded AA in 1935.
Mm.
And so it's important because so many people have gotten sober and actually changed their lives because of AA. And this letter is dated 1950, and Bill Wilson signed the letter.
Nice.
And it had to do with Dr. Bob's death.
Okay.
And it was written to Ed Webster, who was the founder of Hazelton. So this is another
unique collectible and highly sought after
significant
autograph.
I mean, we just sold, what was it, the AA book for like
First edition.
$9,000.
Yeah, the first edition.
Okay,
book
so huge collectability.
in that. Yeah. for
AA,
sure.
Bill Wilson, 1950 signed document. This is also in auction right now. Go to Memorabilia Expert and you can bid on it. It's in great condition,
Mhm.
and that it even, again, exists and it's not in the archives.
Right.
What'll happen is a lot of these documents go into the Alcoholics Anonymous archive, the history, so that some of these are even out and available.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool that people, you know, have that, and that's a nice autograph to have.
Yeah, Bill, and of course, now speaking of authentication,
Mhm.
everything that we have here is authenticated.
Right. It's so important and key when you're in the collectibles, especially the autograph business or game used business. You have to make sure everything that you buy is authentic. And we use all the top tier level third-party authenticators to authenticate our stuff. There's a lot of places that don't do that. They either authenticate their own stuff, which is so wrong. If you have memorabilia, you should have a reputable high, you know, like ours, we particularly use JSA,
Which they're the best.
which they are the best for autographs, but that is whenever you're selling, especially memorabilia.
Yeah, so everything's authenticated here, and in addition to our game use jerseys, as well as like the platinum records or the collections that we have coming through here. We just had the Michael Jackson collection,
Mhm.
the provenance was vetted, as well as this new Phil Spector collection
Right.
that we have coming in that is available right now. And this
Right, in the
that's
auction.
the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
There were like 4 or 5 of Beatles platinum albums that were given to Phil Spector. Now, so Stephanie, I just want to take a guess. There was the Beatles Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. It was a gold LP. It was the white matted, presented to the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that went for?
The gold.
It was gold. It was the gold record.
Okay, I'm gonna say 35,000. I have no idea.
$73,000.
Okay, so double it.
Yeah.
Double
Okay.
what I was saying.
Now, okay, so how about this one? Since you were kind of at the Beatles, Hey Jude, gold, 6474 Beatles, and this is the white mat.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Hey Jude. I'd say maybe a little more, 80,000.
Oh no, that one went for the 25.
Oh, so okay, so I'm like flip them around.
Flip them around. Yeah, you're flipping them around. One more.
Okay.
One more. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. A Hard Day's Night. Gold single.
50,000. Let's go in the middle.
20,000.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm off on my prices.
it's okay because you know why? I'll tell you why.
They're rare one of a kind
They're
pieces.
rare one of a kind pieces.
It's hard to price something that is so. I mean, the Beatles are like the masters of music. They're like the rock and roll like gods. You know, it's like That's what they are.
So
in American and British history.
So we have the platinum. If you can see right behind us, right behind us, we have all the platinum records. And I know that we were just here last week with Al Bowman, who was the limo man, who obtained all these items because of his contracts that he had with the artists and the award shows. And that's what we have behind us from Guns N' Beatles, all of them. I mean, and the bidding has been very, you know, we've started. I mean, people are on these things right now as we speak. You know, so I just think that you definitely want to.
And you can see Al's video. It's in our archives as well. We have it available on Facebook, especially where we did a longer version of the interview. We did a short version of kind of the highlight pieces we have in auction. So check it out on Facebook. We also have some of the shorter videos on YouTube, and it's a great interview. So that way you kind of get a better idea of that provenance. Sometimes when you hear from the person himself, it's so much more valuable information as when you're bidding on the items. It just gives you a better sense of, also a better sense of just, you know, comfortability.
Who he was, how important he was. I mean, he's very well documented, you know, in actually
the limo man
and Sunset Strip. So kind of speaking of Sunset Strip and Gazzari's, okay, we kind of talked about Gazzari's, and you know, Gazzari passed away. Gazzari was a big deal. We have his hat, the iconic hat. Go ahead and take this. You're gonna hang on to that, definitely. But if you can see back in here in our case, yeah, you can see that great. The hat there is on the second shelf, and we have, you can see Gazzari right there wearing the hat. So we have, you know, a photo match of the hat, and that was given to the Limo Man, and it's got his embroidered Gazzari inside the hat. And again, that's been bid on already, and so the bidding's been active. And you know, and so unfortunately, you know, we deal with collectibles, and almost as with artists, when they pass away, although sad, and we don't want any of them to pass away, it
happens,
and it ultimately becomes even that much more collectible and desirable.
It's a spike in interest, as well as just a reminder. People grieve in different ways. People have remembrance of iconic rock stars in so many ways. And, you know, when you have memorabilia that has a representation of those rock stars, it's inevitable that you're going to offer them to be available to people because they just want to savor that. They want to savor that memory of hearing their favorite songs, and, you know, and then just that's what
Van Halen.
So that brings us back to Van Halen here, which we have this amazing piece signed by Van Halen. We showed this in our advertisement as well. This is available. Let me get the glare off of there. Very cool autographs of all the band members there. And yeah, so that's available for auction, as well as available for buy now as well.
Yeah. And you know, just to note about the platinum albums that are behind us, as you know, when we were talking with Al, you know, they actually, you know, what makes the albums really valuable as well, besides that they're the Beatles, is who it was given to and owned by. And that was, these were given to
Phil Spector. Phil Spector,
yeah, Phil Spector.
A birdie told me.
No, Phil Spector. Phil Spector, although he is currently in prison, okay, for that horrible, unfortunate, you know,
incident
that occurred. Phil Spector is probably one of the most notable, iconic music
people.
Fabulous, wonderful artist. I mean, he's like producer, but he's an artist with what he did in the music industry. Outside of what happened, you have to say that Phil Spector is probably one of the most notable producers in the music industry. And that's who these come from. Okay, that's who they come. They were given to him from the Beatles because of the platinum sales.
Right, as a
That
thank you,
is what makes the
congratulations.
difference in and the value of these albums.
Mhm.
So, you know, and that is very, 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 very important to note. Okay, and the provenance of, you know, how it was obtained, and then of course who it was given to, and the plate is there, you know, from the era. Okay, so which is very, very important. I wanted to note that. Okay, so speaking of like Led Zeppelin, because Led Zeppelin is up there too, and I have Stairway to Heaven, right? I used to play guitar, and I was like, so you have to do the little steps, and you got to like finger pick. Okay, so we love Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin. I can't say enough about.
We have a Zeppelin in the showroom as well, an actual Zeppelin.
Flying Zeppelin.
We do. That's how much we love Led Zeppelin. We have an actual Zeppelin.
Yes, and it's signed by Robert Plant, which is available at our store. You can buy that, you know, right directly, because you can purchase
this
or this. This is Page and Plant. Can you see that? Or do I have the glare?
You got to kind of turn it. There you go. Yeah, you got it. Page and Plant.
Page and Plant. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. See if I can go like that.
There we go.
Look at that. Okay, this is an auction. We've got a lot of Led Zeppelin. I just think that out of, you know, all the classics, classic rock, and you know, the music has changed so much. And it's different, and they merge, and they melted, and took all, and they put everything together now.
Right.
They redo a lot of songs.
Inspired by little, you know, bits and pieces.
You will never get these rock bands again. This is a time in history that will always. It's a time vault. It's a time vault. It's a classic time vault.
Yeah.
And I just don't think music is ever going to kind of go back to this.
No,
I think
it's different. It's a different style.
It'll
now.
morph. It'll morph, but you won't ever see Eddie Page. Are you kidding me? He was playing a double neck guitar.
Right.
Okay, who plays a double neck guitar today?
Right.
Do you know anybody?
I don't know anybody that plays a double neck guitar.
And like
maybe a regular guitar. I mean, Rich does.
Right? Who play?
The Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles. There you go.
Yeah, the Eagles. Well, but again, classic. But
classic.
You know, that's classic. Now, speaking of Led Zeppelin, here's another Led Zeppelin photo. This is just an 8x10. This is just an 8x10. Here's Steph, if you want to just show that to them. That's just an 8x10. The full band. The full band. And once again, great authentication. It's authenticate.
Can you hold one?
And it's got that full letter on the back.
Akita, that Phil Spector produced and engineered Imagine for John Lennon. That's huge.
Okay. So that's Led Zeppelin, and that's the that is the full 8x10. And then so another comment that Victor was talking about was Imagine was produced in what by Phil Spector? Well, mastered by Imagine John Lennon. Imagine the song Imagine by John Lennon. So again, fantastic. Platinum records. You've got to go up. You got to read it. You got to read about it. Check it out. It's amazing. We have Led Zeppelin. Here's another classic. Yeah. Edgar Winter and Johnny Winter. Okay, signed album.
There you go.
So we, you know, again, you probably remember this. Anyone from those days. You know, and I picked this because I just thought it was so different. Yeah. You won't see that again, right? And it's a signed album cover.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's also unique. Here's stuff. Speaking of the Beatles.
Oh, Beatles.
Here.
That's okay.
Here, I'm going to give
I'll bring
you
it up.
McCartney.
There we go. Now, when have you ever seen? You've seen Beatles signed things, but when have you ever seen a Beatles signed baseball by Paul McCartney?
Yeah, Paul McCartney, and you know, really, $10,000 as a price for that is not outrageous.
No, because it's so unique. It's not like McCartney signs every single day for people, especially during these times.
And you know what's going to be coming out, okay? And I'm just letting this. You heard this here, Okay, they're doing a huge documentary.
Wow.
A huge it was supposed to come out. Did you hear about this stuff?
No, I have not heard about
Okay,
this.
so they were supposed to do it. You know how they did the Jordan documentary? Now that's a big deal. Okay, so they're doing this huge documentary about the Beatles, but they postponed it because of what's going on. And right, and it's going to be coming out next year. So you know what's going to happen.
Interest in Beatles collectibles is going to go up, and when you have a unique piece of memorabilia such as that, that's going to be it's going to go up in value. Crazy.
Yes. So and again, so we're kind of getting in on it before that whole craze. So you know, I just think that those are key.
Here's something really cool
Yeah,
too.
so-
I mean, here is that crooner from that era that everybody, the Bobby Soxers, would love, and that, of course, is also, or he was also a member of the Rat Pack, Mr. Frank Sinatra.
And Frank Sinatra also is now he had some extra writing on here.
He did.
There's a lot of writing on there.
Yeah,
that's like so important.
It's thank you all for all the nice things.
Wow.
Dear Ray, thank you for all the nice things.
So
An autographed baseball. Another great signed baseball from now these originate from an amazing collection, which we'll be talking about as well. So these are all in that genre of rock and roll and music history. And I mean, Vegas obviously is iconic for the Rat Pack. So even if you're just a Vegas collector in general, this would be something that you'd want in your collection as well. So yeah. And it's also dated to 1978. And as well as I should mention that it has a full letter from JSA for the authentication too, because that's so important, like we were talking earlier about, is to have that authentication.
Yes. So now, okay, so obviously we have collectibles spanning all types of genres.
Mhm.
Okay, and we're kind of going back and forth, and I'm going to show you. There's this book. Okay, this is just a notebook, and this
Not just a notebook, Kita.
this is
A little more than a notebook.
this is a notebook, and then when you open the just a notebook, it's got all kinds of writing in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the writing in it is Bret Michael.
Whoa!
From
Bret Michael's Poison.
Woo! Okay, so amazing. Okay, it's set list. It's set list that he wrote. It's just from that time that he was on tour. Okay,
Also in auction.
also an auction with C.C. DeVille.
All kinds of notes and scribbles
Yeah.
and debauchery.
Yeah.
Everything from minor details to crazy details.
Yeah.
You could read the contents online. All the pictures are there, and see a little bit more. More
I have
things.
Gary, who's the one who got that, right
Oh, the
there.
Van Halen.
How he got
Oh,
it. in
sure,
person.
Gary, come on
Tell
down, Gary.
Come
Come on, Gary.
Well, this is great.
Gary, okay, so we're gonna, Gary, this is Gary. Gary, you want to just introduce yourself and
How you
just?
doing? I just stumbled in. I lost my bus pass somewhere, but I guess I'm
Oh,
happy to find it home somewhere. Anybody got a cracker for me or something?
okay. So Gary, just tell us how you got this. You can stand back here, Gary. Yeah, stand behind it so we can see you.
There we
And you
go.
can just
Right
kind of
on
look
there.
down. You can kind of look down on it.
I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm Gary. Hi, how's everybody out there?
Woo!
Known Keita and Victor a long time. They're good people. And sadly enough, with the passing of Eddie Van Halen, it really brings back a lot of memories. This was a poster I bought at a store. And I, over the many, many years, got it signed by all the band members at different locations, recording studios, restaurants, award ceremonies, airports, and things like that.
So you
And,
actually, so here you are, Gary. You buy this poster, just a Van Halen poster,
Right.
and then you're now chasing the guy. So you go to the airport. You went to the
Wherever
to
it
the
is, we'll bring out
restaurant.
information. And sometimes these things, people don't realize that this could easily take me 15 years to actually see these people
15
and get
years?
it signed. When you get it completed and you get the form on it, because I never know where and when I'm going to see these guys. I know that once I have something like this, I don't have to panic because I have the good ammunition. If someone says, "Oh, gee, Michael Anthony is recording at A&M Records," I'll bring the poster. Eddie Van Halen, may rest in peace, is playing in the LA Police Golf Tournament. Did you realize that? So you can bring the
The
poster
Rainbow
there.
parking lot.
So yeah, the Rainbow Parking Lot, right, where Victor played many times.
Okay, well,
So
thank you
once
so
it's
much.
done, yeah. And now, of course, the poster, sadly enough, the only one thing that's morbid about what we do, but it's like when someone dies, the price goes up
Mhm,
and sometimes skyrockets.
mhm.
But this is a great collectible piece because in this day and age, to get a poster signed with the crowds and the pushing and shoving and all the insanity that goes along with it, it's hard to get it into a crowded situation without it getting wrinkled or destroyed. I was very lucky that I pretty much got these guys in a one-on-one situation. So that means it takes a long time. So I never know where or when, different dates, different locations.
Mhm.
But
Wow.
it's nice that it wasn't
Wow.
shoved into a crowd and signed upside down or cockeyed or the wrong way or a smeared pencil. All that stuff factors into
Wow, yeah, that's
getting
amazing.
it nice and keeping it the right way.
So you just heard that live from Memorabilia Expert, and this
Mhm.
is exactly how this piece was obtained and signed. Thank you, Gary. We
Yeah,
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank
God,
you.
if I knew I was going to be on, I would have lost some weight.
Oh, that's
Thank you very
great.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. So, so all this is at memorabilia.expert. The auction ends on Saturday. A couple other things that we have featured is George Lucas. I think that's important.
Star Wars.
Rehearsed. I didn't even know it was
There
going to
we
be
go.
on, right?
Okay, Star Wars, and so that's Lauren Bacall.
Lauren Bacall, another actress. There we go.
So I just wanted to remind everybody that we've got collections coming in. We've got a whole lot of 2000 baseballs, the largest celebrity signed baseball collection everyone.
We've ever seen, and probably that in the world that I've ever. I mean, I can't imagine anybody that has collected over 2,000 baseballs signed.
Baseballs, which is very unique.
Not just by sports players, by, like you see there, celebrities, singers, just
Yasser Arafat, JFK,
politicians,
Jackie.
astronauts, any imaginable
So
type of autograph.
keep watch.
Stay tuned.
Memorabilia.expert. Check us out. Call us. We want your consignments. We're here to help you. Talk to us. Memorabilia.expert.
Yeah, the auction ends tomorrow, so definitely go there and check out our site. And I guess we're pretty much done here, but I'm gonna check Facebook. I think we might have some questions on Facebook. So
Okay. Let's
so
see
we'll
what
go
we
off
got.
on YouTube and we'll check Facebook for questions.
We're still live.
Yeah, just